emotional comfort zones. This is Game Therapy with joebombsquad87, and just want to let everybody know that that there are those times when you feel distraught or in your own emotions or anything like that. You kind of want to just let things go, I guess. And when you let things go, you can like lose pieces of yourself. And when you lose pieces of yourself, emotional comfort zones are few and far between. So, oh wait, there's a better car right there. Yeah. Use that car. Alright. It's okay, it's alright. It's alright. Not gonna hurt you. Yeah. Alright. So realizing emotional comfort zones are a place where you can be whole again, or a place where you can be yourself again. Realize that, and also, and take into account that, that emotional comfort zones are something you're used to, or something you're, or something that you realize is a real thing in your life, and you go back to it to be able to feel, I guess, a sense of normalcy, or a sense of what's the word, a sense of back to square one sort of thing, you know. They say that emotional comfort zones are like emotional safety nets. You use them to be able to get back certain thought patterns, to realize certain things that are real, to realize certain things that are fake, realize certain things that are emotional barriers between you and the way you want to feel and the way you want to be. So also realize that what's the word? That when you play around with those emotional comfort zones, it's an element for disaster. You know, when you play around with things that you don't know the answer to, or you don't know the thing of, like, say for instance, you try to push your emotions, or push yourself emotionally, and or someone tries to push you emotionally, and they push your buttons successfully. The way to get back from that is to realize your emotional comfort zone. You don't have to say it out verbally or anything like that, but you can if you're comfortable like that. But realize that that emotional comfort zones are going to be few and far between if you have no sense of normalcy. If you have no sense of being able to see
what is this shit?
The rest of the world around you without and not to say that to see the rest of the world without you around you. And I'm gonna take this radio station off. All right. Forgot this broadcast is this live stream is not brought to you by Monster Energy Drink, Nice Juicy Bugs, and there's like a knockoff brand of like Gushers a little bit, but it's still good. And also my landlord's enchiladas. All right. Actually, it's brought to you by my landlord's enchiladas because they were fucking delicious, and I put some Taco Bell sauce on it and some Parmesan cheese. It was delicious because there's like so much more other kinds of cheese, so why not Parmesan cheese? You know, why not? So realizing that that emotional comfort zones are few and far between if you don't have a sense of normalcy in your life. Realize that your comfort zone is an action or if you don't have a sense of normalcy. And also realize that if you want a sense of normalcy, all you have to do is think about something that makes you feel comfortable. Like anything that makes you feel comfortable, any kind of positive action that makes you feel comfortable, because a negative action will trigger an emotion, another emotion, and then probably trigger an action. So realizing that a sense of normalcy is needed, like a sense of just relaxation and positive thinking, is a definite need. Realize that when you go through certain emotional changes, those senses of normalcy can kind of seem lax, or they're not doing their job. But in actuality, it's like you're changing inside, so it feels like you have to change those senses of normalcy. So your brain changes it for you. You unknowingly realizing that you'll never feel that same feeling again. But also realize that your brain is constantly going back to that sometimes. When you're thinking about like a math problem and you're trying to figure it out, and it's kind of stressing you out or something like that, or when you're trying to figure out, or when you're trying to dismantle a bomb, you know, realizing that senses of normalcy can make for a good way to be able to take up positive actions when your reflexes are acting up on you, because emotions consider reflexes, and that's what I've noticed. Because when I was in a relationship, a girl was having an emotional breakdown, a panic attack almost, and I told her to let it pass and keep breathing. Instead, she decided to run away in a car, and I don't know where she went, so it was really stupid and really dumb. Unfortunately, there are, what's the word, there are stupid things there were stupid things in this relationship. She didn't want to adhere to certain like relationship guidelines, like communicate and tell your partner things. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, I'm like, if she doesn't want to communicate, then maybe we can know by just telling you some things every once in a while. Like, but that didn't work either. So I mean, it also changed the viewpoint of the way that I looked at the relationship. So, but also reality set in, and she didn't realize her mistakes. So I just decided to leave. So, and also people can say different things about what the relationship actually was, because I know they have, and I know they're stupid. I know they come up with different things, and oh, he was a douchebag, or oh, he was an idiot, or something like that. Oh, damn it! But they can say whatever they want to say, but some of our relationships have actually worked out like that. I wish them well. I really do. Even though I was mad at the time sometimes, and people when they're mad, they say things they don't mean sometimes. So also to every relationship that I've ever had out there, I wish you positive and wonderful things in your life, but sometimes just away from me, because I'm bored, and I didn't want to be with whoever it was because of either our interests not being in sync, or a basic emotional what's the word, basically they reminded me of the girls on TV that just talk about absolutely everything, and when you watch too much of that, it's like, yeah, they got that from TV. Yeah, they didn't actually like think about that emotionally. They didn't really think about that inside of their own hearts or inside of their own minds. or inside of anything inside their body or anything like that. They just saw it, mimicked it, and decided that they were going to make it a thing to them. So, or they just used it to get away from me. But either way, in any case, I really do wish them well. You know, I'm not saying that there's a oh, what's the word, I'm not saying that there's a hard way to be able to be inside a relationship and then say that there's something inside of it that you should get to. And also revenge relationships are just terrible. They really are, because I've been in a couple of them, and the one that I mentioned was pretty much the same thing. She decided that that if I wasn't going to be her hero, then she was going to be my nothing. So that was really stupid and dumb, and she just wasn't going to be there for me. And I know, and then we talked afterwards, and then said that, oh, you can spin it whatever way you want to spin it. And I was just like, hold on a second. We went through so many emotional, like really highs and lows, and no mediums, like, at all. And you're gonna tell me that you didn't have anything to do with that? So, because it's a two-way street, and I'm not just blaming her, or I'm not just blaming that person, but moreover, I'm blaming her for just acting like it didn't matter, acting like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with all of my friends that I've hung out with for 20 freaking years at the same bar every single night, and then I'm gonna act like, y'all should immediately become friends, and if y'all don't, then go fuck off somewhere. And that's pretty much what I did. I fucked off somewhere. I hitchhiked back to New Orleans, went to a hospital because, Bo, move, you're gonna get burnt by my cigarette. I moved because of the fact that that she was emotionally, and she was just copying off of what I had done when I didn't feel emotionally right to actually be the person to help her in their relationship. I thought I was doing her a favor, and she thought she was messing with me. So I still wish her well, but I still really wish her well, and I hope she feels safe in the next relationship, because she probably didn't feel safe with me. Or I hope she feels comfortable in her next relationship, because we didn't really feel that comfortable sometimes, and it was pretty much just the sex that was actually keeping the relationship alive. So, and she always thought everything was so funny all the time. So, but emotional comfort zones have a lot to do with the way that I'm feeling now about it, and I may have went off the handle sometimes, or that was a very ironic song because we just did a divorce. And realizing that that sometimes people need a break from stuff, and not really a break, like, oh my god, like a joke break or something like that, like oh, you spent 5 minutes outside of this room that's like completely torturing you, you get to go back inside that room now. No, that's stupid. It's called emotional comfort zones. When you're dealing with emotions really consistently, your comfort zones are few and far between. That's obvious, but I can delve into it a little bit more. say for instance you're going through a certain trauma or something like that, any trauma, and I'm trying to make it as vague as possible to be able to relate it to as many cases as possible, as many people as possible. And also, I'm not a professional. I'm not a licensed professional. I am I'm a kid of therapy. No, I'm just a person saying my own individual experiences. Oh my god, I hate music right now. Alright. And that landlord's enchiladas are awesome. And that's why I'm breakfast. But also realizing that that when you go into different places inside your own comfort zone, you'll realize that what you're trying to do is to make a sense of not just normalcy. Sometimes it's a sense of something that someone else doesn't know about, like just make up anything, like just make up a fictional story and about a hero saving the day, and or a woman, a heroette as I like to call them, because or a woman that's like really awesome and really freaking hot or something, just like beating the shit out of your problems, and then your problems aren't that big anymore, you know? Like just making sure that you yourself feel comfortable in the situation. Like that's what I like to imagine sometimes. Not like a woman beating the shit out of my problems, but like a real like a real person being able to be personified inside my own mind as a hero or just somebody that cares, to be able to minimize my problems and to be able to come back from almost emotional death, you know? Because people's like, oh, I'm dead inside, and they say that they're dead inside emotionally. That means you're gonna become, like, if you're dead inside and still walking around, you're gonna be a zombie, and someone's gonna shoot you in the head because you're gonna try to eat them. But besides that, realizing that emotional comfort zones can be so important when dealing with emotional trauma, when dealing with a sickness, when dealing with anything. Realizing that your emotional center is what you need to focus on. Your emotional and that's your comfort zone. It's not like over to the left, it's not like over to the right. It's literally your center. It's not so so many people can mess with you or deal with, or say, oh, you're lefty or righty, or like, or you're the left party or something like that. Like just saying something stupid and then trying to make it a way, like make it a way to like make someone feel uncomfortable. And that's also making fun of people, but also too, I like to do that, but I like to make fun of myself more often. So I like to act like an idiot sometimes, and it's fun. It's fun to act like an idiot to me because I feel like I'm not numb to my problems, but it feels like I'm done with my problems, you know? And that's what makes me feel comfortable sometimes. It's a new way that I feel, or it's an old way, but it's a way that I feel helps me deal with most of my emotional trauma, or most of the relationships that I've ever had. And people can act like, oh, it's the woman's fault, or oh, it's her fault completely, and it's like, no, it's not. It's my fault for putting that much into the relationship in the first place. You know, I mean, if I really wanted to be able to let a person know me, you know, I probably should have picked a different person, you know. So I mean, so when you're, yeah, I punched that guy in the face. It was awesome. So realizing that I mean, it's not also, I mean, also too, it can be just the way you deal with yourself, you know. And also women that may have ulterior motives. They probably just wanted to have sex with me for a really long time, and then would have sex with other dudes after a while because she got bored with me, because I wouldn't do different styles or something like that, you know. But she didn't feel like getting married anymore, so I mean, and also she had kids already, so I wasn't really expecting too much, and I wasn't expecting to stay in the relationship for too long. And yeah, she had her tubes tied too, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, like, I wasn't too heartbroken over it. So I mean, I just know that I needed to heal from that amount of stress sometimes, because there was always something to stress about. Like, it was either her kids, it was either her job, it was either something like that, and also it wasn't like I deal with stress all the time and there's so many problems out there. No, it's like there was certain things that I decided to ignore sometimes, and I did it because I wanted to make her feel important, and I realized that those things that I ignored actually made me. So I mean, so basically we were just having sex until we didn't feel like having sex anymore. I mean, that's the way that I felt about that relationship. So it's not like I put too much in it. It's just I delved into the emotional side of it more than she did, because I guess I'm judging myself more harder than she would ever judge me, I guess. So I mean, you know, like that. But also too, she didn't judge herself up to my standards. So it was hard for me to gauge what she was really trying to do with her life. And she basically thought, I guess, I mean, no, she didn't think her life was over. I mean, but those emotional comfort zones got me through the day. It got me through the day. It's just enchiladas. It was just delicious. Those emotional comfort zones got me through the day. It got me through feeling like I was empty inside. And even after the relationship, my emotional comfort zones, or the emotional comfort zones that I made for myself, made me feel like I cared, like I cared too much. But also too, I should care too much about the relationship that I'm in. You know, I should care a lot about what I'm in a relationship, and how I'm going to be in a relationship.
We got eyes on the target.
And that's just the way that I felt, you know, about the situation, about the reality of the relationship itself. And I died. That's it. I just kind of put that down that alleyway. And I noticed I did just say alleyway. But I'm not just talking about the old relationships. I'm talking about the relationships where well, I had a rebound relationship afterwards. It was pretty good, but it was also pretty stupid because I was going through a lot of emotional stress. I didn't blame her for a lot of things, the last relationship, but the amount of importance that she didn't put on anything, not my rebound relationship, but my old relationship, it made me like out of my comfort zone constantly. I would lash out emotionally, and I'm not saying that I don't have any problems by talking about this stuff, but I can minimize my problems pretty much by trying to talk to myself about them, and that's the reality of what I really wanted to make for myself. Because I'm not expecting to be able to get into a new relationship because I'm talking about this stuff, but it will help me in my next relationship, in my next life, life sharing experience, you know. So when I'm around trying to make sure that I'm emotionally available in a relationship, people have to understand that the realities of those relationships, the reasons for those relationships, I gotta make sure I put my helmet on. All right. Realizing that those relationships helped me so much in being able to unmask myself. You know, to be able to, oh damn it, to be able to really delve into what I really wanted to be as a relationship. No, not that one.
I'm gonna be using your car.
No, you're not. All right. Realizing that that being yourself is a huge thing as far as an emotional comfort zone. Not putting too much into emotional stress, and not putting too much in the relationship as far as, oh, she's doing this, that means that must mean this. But realizing that the emotions that you feel can cause those sort of suspicions and things like that, and also realizing that those emotions can be detrimental to what your relationship really wants to be, to what both of you really want for your relationship. Because you don't go into a relationship thinking that, oh, I'm just gonna hinder her constantly. I'm gonna make sure that she's not doing anything and I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff, or I'm gonna make sure that she's doing all the work. And because you can't really get into an agreement saying that, oh, you're never gonna work a day in your life, and you're like, that's fucking boring. It's boring as shit. I'm sure it's boring for women. Like, it's really boring for anyone. And of course, I'm not talking about like people who have been like working their entire lives and want to retire. I'm talking about people who are getting into a relationship and fresh relationships, you know. So that I'm also trying to say that, like, realize that working yourself to the bone is not something that you should do. Realize that being someone that you really want to be, someone who you really want to say you are, saying that life itself is can be a comfort zone. Can be a comfort zone. It's kind of true, but also there is a lot of dangers in life, and comfortable in every single part of life is kind of demented, you know? Kind of demented. Being comfortable in every single situation that you're ever in is kind of, let's say, I don't want to say like really big words or anything like that, because it's just stupid. I mean, I can say like not to say that like pretentious is a really big word, because I mean that's just assuming that every situation is gonna come out on its own for the better. So like that's more pretentious, I guess. But that's also completely optimistic, like blindly optimistic, and realism is supposed to be taken, optimism is supposed to be taken with a grain of salt, at least once a day. So not like immediately or literally, but just figuratively. And also realizing that that when you
suspect doing 50 miles per hour on
that realizing that that when you want to go down a certain road and you want to be comfortable in a certain area and you want to be comfortable with yourself, realizing that that those things and those people will constantly try to mess with you. People will constantly try to to fake like they're your friend, and then also, but then at the same time, be like, oh, but this dude said something, and you're like, what? I don't give a shit about that person, and then you're like, and that dude just trying to like mess with you emotionally. That's not a friendship. That's like a dare. It's like hey, guess what happened this day? It's like, I'm not interested in that happening there, and I want you to understand that it's really stupid the way you do things, you know. And you shouldn't put front those people if you don't feel like actually having those emotional invasions, I guess, because what they're trying to do is get a rise out of you emotionally, and they think that their friends should be people who are dead inside, and they're just like, and they just keep coming at you with things like, oh, dude, did you hear what this guy said? It's like, no, I don't care. And then it's like, oh, you don't care, so I'll just say whatever the fuck I want then. And then it's like, you're an asshole, and you should go somewhere. So but emotional comfort zones can get you through anything. Emotional comfort zones can get you through literal people who had comfort zones, who have been through a bunch of stuff and were able to realize different things about themselves. Got through Katrina, they got through Harvey, they got through a bunch of different other hurricanes that are fucking terrible and shitty as far as the way that they treated people. And I mean, and people are gonna realize how hard it was for anyone to get assistance through different things besides FEMA, and they want to go to the Red Cross. But okay, first of all, the Red Cross has terrible food, like fucking terrible food. Like, they have shitty food, and like I don't know if you think about this at all, or if anyone thinks about this at all, but like, do you really want comfort food? Do you really want like shitty food when you're going through something terrible?
We have a visual on the perp.
Or do you want comfort food? Do you want like a food that will help you maintain the reality that you really want for the place that's been devastated? You want to make it like the place it was, or do you want to like completely change it, or do you want to completely change the way that people see things? And I just ran into the back of a car. Ah! But emotional comfort zones can make you feel like emotional comfort zones can make you feel like you're done with the emotional hurt that's inside of you. Emotional comfort zones, and that's really what a comfort zone is. It's a place inside your own psyche that you can I guess, yeah, shit, I gotta hurry up and do a cheat. I'm gonna do a redial on the phone. I don't even know. Let me go out in the street after this. I don't want to run through this building. I want to go to this car and take this. God dang it! Not good on foot. All right. Realizing that emotional comfort zones can get you through the day, can help you feel a certain sort of comfortability, and make you feel like you're better at what you do. And those juicy bugs are awesome. You son of a bitch. They're supposed to be red the whole time.
No.
No what? Oh yeah.
Don't act like a tough guy. What the fuck? Ah!
All right. But also realizing that that saving yourself from the emotional hurt is something you can do every day. saving yourself from the emotional hurt sometimes is just smiling, or just thinking about a place that you actually feel comfortable at. And people can act like oh, they're never gonna feel that way about the same place ever again. And all I'm saying is that that if you actually feel that way about yourself, if you actually feel that you can't go back to a certain place because of an emotional experience, realize that you are with a certain person. Realize that it's not your fault or their fault, but it's the experience's fault. Okay? You kind of felt like like you needed something that day, or that you needed something that something, or that piece of something, and what you tried to do was get somebody out of their funk, and realizing that they themselves couldn't do that, so you tried to help, but also realizing that they had to do that themselves. You tried to think that, because I tried to do that once. It was with a girl that didn't like casinos, and I tried to bring her to a casino and tell her that the emotional things that happened to her with the person that she went to casinos with. I mean, she could realize that she could have good experiences at the casino and good experiences with people.
A reckless driver on
You know, I mean, or say it's like her parents or something like that were like mondo freaking gamblers before they ever got into whatever they got into. You know, like they changed themselves and they never went to a casino ever again. But it's not the casino that did that to them. It's their own emotional distraught. It's their own emotional like they felt comfortable pushing buttons while they were there, and then they realized they just spent like $2,000 or $3,000. So I mean, but also realizing that that it's not that place's fault, that you don't have to blame that place, because when you blame that place, you take away experiences that you actually can have. You take away experiences that you can have inside of a wonderful place that actually gives away free alcohol. And that's the reason why I wanted to go to the casino, and because I didn't care about winning any money. I'd go with $50. I'd go with $50, and I'd try to milk it as much as I could, putting in $10 after $10, $5 after $5, and then I'd try to see if I could get drunk, and then we'd probably have to take a taxi home. But that's what I believe about casinos. It's only fun when the alcohol is free. So. And also, there are places where you can dance. Like there are nightclubs inside of the casino that you can just dance around at. So you can get drunk, dance around at a freaking nightclub by yourselves. Sometimes they're not. The dance floor is just completely open, and then the music's just blaring. So why not believe in something else? You know, why not believe in yourself and go to a casino? Chick that doesn't like casinos anymore. Realize that you know what? If you have bad experiences at a casino, you can go with someone that you feel comfortable with. Go with one of your girlfriends. Realize that go with one of your friends that's a girl. And then like if y'all like experiment or something, or do something fun, or like get drunk and then make out, realize that that's just a thing. You know, it's just a thing. I'm a stupid idiot. I'm such a dumbass. So, but yeah, I wish her well. I really do. I wish all of them well. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm like emotionally distraught and like, oh my gosh, there were so many women that did me wrong. No, it's like we felt the emotions when we felt the emotions. I might have felt some stronger emotions about something. You felt stronger emotions about a different thing. We disagreed. So So, so so that was it. That was pretty much it. I mean, I don't hold grudges. I really don't. I just don't feel that comfortable around a person ever again. Whenever I'm like, because I want that to be with someone who I'm actually comfortable with. Who I'm actually comfortable like that with. I mean, I don't like that you need to know. Alright. But yeah, that's my emotional comfort zone. My emotional comfort zone is that it's not that big of a freaking deal. And granted, there are things that are big deals, but over life itself, I'm not gonna stress too hard over anything, and that's my comfort zone. I'm not gonna stress too hard over something that needs to be, what's the word? That needs to be put under the rug, or just turned into a fragrance that's probably gonna smell like roses, because it's just shit, you know. And granted, it's probably not just shit. It's probably other things that turn it into that. But it's probably the earth that turns it into that, and it turns into a fungus. All right, I just jumped over the car, thinking that I would run into it. We're gonna go to a complete hour this time. And I'm gonna try to see if I can get a new car, and I'm gonna steal that car. All right, run to it and steal it. All right. But realizing your emotional comfort zones, the biggest deal you should probably think about is yourself. The biggest deal you should probably think about is yourself, is what you really want in life. What you really want as a person, what you really want to be, you know? I know, and you can act like people do things so I force them to go somewhere. I just thought that hitting on a random bartender dude wouldn't be really that great. Like, oh, I wanted to go see my one friend who wears a bandana and he's really cool. No, I just thought that more over like a dance party and like having fun and actually like getting kind of tipsy and maybe taking a taxi home would be probably a better experience than you just gawking over a dude who like thinks that he's cool. And granted, he may have some like troubles in his life. He's got, oh man, I got these troubles, man. I just want to tell you about all my troubles. It's like, yeah, that dude's trying to get in your pants. Like, it's just much because I just wanted to hang out with dudes that wanted to get in the pants. So, but like I said, it's not a freaking deal. It's not a big deal. Like, I really shouldn't have put that much importance on the relationship to begin with. We should have just been fuck buddies.
This is total bullshit.
So,
Fuck's sake.
but yeah, I got married to a woman that we just constantly had sex every single night. So. Oh, what an emotionally harrowing experience. Oh gosh, I'm so horrible as a person. I married a woman for sex. Dang it. Dang, I thought I was gonna go behind that for sure. Alright, but realizing that our emotional experiences and our emotional comfort, everything in life. What we believe makes us feel comfortable, how we believe it, and how it's everything. It really is, because there are people out there with some really weird emotional comfort zones. It has to do with so much physical. It has to do with every single M&M being yellow. It has to do with every single M&M being blue or green or red or anything other than just completely multicolored color, and what are you eating, Bo? Quit eating the carpet, Bo. It's really stupid. But what are you doing, Bo? Stop that. Come here, Bo. Come here. Bo, come here. Come here, Bo. Bo, come here. Get that off of you. Come here. He's playing a game with this little freaking leash that's way too big for him. You'll grow into it, Bo. Quit doing that. Don't try to chew on that leash ever again, Bo. This is stupid. Yeah, I know you got stuff stuck in your teeth now, or it feels like you do. There's a metal thing going up against your teeth, Bo. Alright. So, realizing that all relationships have flaws in them, but also realizing that people aren't complete matches, and you have to make things work, and it's hard to actually make things work when you're out there doing things, and you're out there making things work. So, hopefully you're making it work with the person that you're with. And hopefully, if you're not with a person, then you're coming over to my house. No, I'm just playing. Realizing that all emotional hurt can be solved with literally just saying that it doesn't matter too much. I mean, not being dead inside and actually making it not matter, but saying that it doesn't matter to you in the least, because you know that emotionally there is a tomorrow, and there are other emotions to experience tomorrow. And that's the reason for tomorrow, okay? That's the reason for us measuring everything. It's to make us feel better, because there's no such thing as night and day. There's no such thing. It's just when the sun moves around the earth, or the earth moves around the sun. I don't know which one. I'm not a freaking trained physicist that much. So I mean I studied physics in high school, but also too, I mean, they never really went into a whole bunch of different stuff. But oh, you got to go to college and stuff like that to figure out the rest of it. It's like, wow, that's the biggest fucking scam I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm gonna look on Google and different searches on YouTube and stuff. I'll get a freaking BA like that, you assholes. So,
Dispatch, suspect is on foot.
So when you're realizing different things about yourself and understanding different things like your comfort zones, what you're about, and how you should be doing it. I just died again, but I'm gonna eat some more of these juicy bugs. Juicy bugs. They're like shaped like bugs, but they're gushers. And it's friggin' delicious. It's like the best thing ever. So good. Anyways, realizing that your emotional comfort zone is everything to you, but it doesn't have to be everything, you know.
Hey, thanks for calling.
But also realizing that it doesn't have to be nothing either, because that's when you start to be dead. Not to say that you're gonna turn into a zombie immediately or anything like that, but you will become emotional if you decide that nothing is your comfort zone. You will try to mimic different people to actually have emotions, because I've almost gotten there. Yeah, I've almost gotten there, like, literally almost gotten there, because... And it's not because of anyone else, it's because of the lack of anyone else, you know? The lack of anyone else's emotions inside of my own life. So, they can say different things about what, oh, someone caused this, or your heart's broken, or something. And I'm like, no. And technically, no one really has a heart. It's more just like a hub for your blood to move through. It's like, that's it. And it's like, there's other muscles that keep your blood flowing. It's like, it's not like, oh, your heart is like the only thing that keeps your blood flowing, because if
You entitled piece of shit.
I'm not gonna say that. It's very stupid to think that the heart is the only muscle that keeps your blood flowing, and it's, I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that keeps me emotionally sane, you know. Like just realizing certain inconsistencies and how stupid people can misconstrue those consistencies, you know. Realizing that that every single day is your oyster. And though what's the word? Rocks in the oyster, or spider eggs, or pretty much anything besides the oyster, because he swallows he swallows a grain of sand and then just puts his spit on all of it. No, it's not. It's like it's part of the oyster. It becomes a part of the oyster eventually, and the oyster seals shut, and that's what happens. So, but so also realizing that oysters turn into rock monsters. Be good to yourself. Be good to who you want to be, and your comfort zones will come naturally. I mean, they will, and you won't have to deal with anyone's bullshit. You won't have to deal with anyone's stupid stuff. And I'm gonna run over this guy. Last time he told me to just deal with shit. So fuck that guy. I'm gonna run him over. So he didn't even give me a tip. He's a fucktard. Steal a car. Yeah. Stealing the car. He's out of gas. Oh, you can't go in. I'm just gonna blow it up. Alright, so remember your comfort zones. And remember that every day is a new day. Oh wait, I gotta put the cheat in to get the frickin'... God dang it. Alright, let's just throw a grenade. Alright, we did it. Every single day is a new day as far as comfort zones go. Comfort zones go, alright? As far as comfort zones go, every single day is a new day, and you can feel comfortable in any situation, but it's kind of not recommended to feel comfortable in absolutely any situation, because people will start to think that you're a spy. Oh gosh, I need my monster. I'm not feeling well. Alright, but realize that every day is a new comfort zone. But every chance you have to feel comfortable, every chance you have to let an emotion pass and not go with it, is every day that you can feel saner and feel better. And these are my own opinions, not a professional's opinion. So yeah, I've experienced these emotions, so it's pretty hard to actually not give in to them, but also to realize that everyone feels hurt out there, and everyone tries to feel better about their hurt, but when they start to blame other people for their hurt, or when they start to blame certain people for their hurt, and not to wait, there we go. This is what happens. Not that guy, this guy. All right, he's gonna get blown up now. Yeah, blown up. Yeah, all right. That's what happened. It starts to explode. Starts to make no sense. People start to hurt you. Realizing that, yep, taking cover is a good thing.
I need some serious backup here.
But also realizing that this car is probably going to explode in like 20 seconds. Yeah. Start on fire. I'm going to go in the water. Gotta feel comfortable. God dang it. Alright. I'll see y'all later. Have a good day. This has been Game Therapy with Joe Bomb Squad. Be a good person. Or whatever. No, yeah, be a good person. It's fun. Oh, that's some good monster.